mild green leaf that comes off of the tea tree.
Mm-hmm.
All tea comes from one tree, depends on what the age of the leaf is and where it's growing on the tree as to how strong a taste or bitter a taste you're going to get out of it. So this is the youngest green leaf off of the tree. If you take one of these and you smash it down, you'll hear the term gunpowder tea at times. This is what it looks like. It looks just like gunpowder.
Oh, wow.
So this is the oldest and bitterest leaf off of the tree. And they would shred those and they would make it into a slurry and they would press it into these forms. This is a small form. This is only 8 blocks wide. This has probably been bought for the household. Tea's very expensive, so we're going to buy the cheaper tea. Again, French Canadians, though, we're going to actually, we slide a little more to coffee than we do to the tea. I still do. Okay, so this is what happens. You can see the saw marks.
Yes.
So when you would go to the store and you would want to buy just one of these, they would literally saw it off, take a saw and saw the piece off for you. Some of these blocks that would go to the merchants would be 36 of these across and 36 down. And the picture would be much more intricate. And sometimes the wealthy would just buy one of these larger ones and they would display it on their mantle to show their wealth. Just because they could.
Because they could.
Yeah. That wasn't my family that was doing that. So the tea, though, it's called brick tea for a reason, because once it dries down, it is very hard. Now, the gentlemen are out on the field, but they would wear something called a haversack, and it's a canvas sack that they sling over their shoulder. Now, they could, if they had the ability to have a tin case, they could use a tin case in this manner. A lot of them really would just wax paper and wrap their tea, and then this is maple sugar. So they would take that and they would wrap it together, and when they were ready at night for their tea, they would heat some water up, then they would take a knife and they would scrape some of the tea into the water, and then after it's steeped, they would strain the leaves out, and then they would take and they would put some of this maple sugar in to give it a little more palatable taste. Yeah, because it's a very bitter tea. So let's see. This is my maple sugar that I'm using every day. It looks just like brown
like
sugar.
Brown sugar.
Right. So then this is my white sugar.
Okay.
Now this is very, very expensive, so I'm going to save this and I'm going to use this for, say, a child's baptism or a child's wedding or something like that. We're from Monroe, Michigan, Frenchtown. We don't have a priest that lives there, so the priest would come from Detroit down to Monroe, and they would serve Mass, and each family would take a turn housing the priest and feeding him while he was there. So I might break out the white sugar
stuff.
for the father, the good father.
The good stuff.
Yep. So let's see. This is a table setting. This is a little earlier though, more into the 1700s, but it's still good, and I'm not going to toss it. So we're going to continue to use it this time period. Now, if you notice, it's going to be very hard to eat your peas or anything else with this. So you see the knife? It has a non-sharp edge. So what they would do is they would take and they would put peas or corn or anything like that was very small, push it onto the plate, and then off the knife, and then just right off of the knife. And they would save this for stabbing bigger pieces of meat or bigger pieces of vegetables. So.
Quite interesting. Oh, wow.
And this spoon is actually made out of horn, animal horn. They would take it, they would boil it, they would press it down into a form. Then once it was cool, they would pull it out, they would file it down a little bit, and you could have a very durable spoon to use. Do you have any other questions? Okay.
No, you've done a lot. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. You ladies have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.